Hey everyone, Effie here. Today we're going to make a card using our Peony border layering stencils. It's a 4 stencil collection. We're just going to place an A2 card panel onto our grip mat, position our A2 panel onto the grip mat. We're going to center stencil 1 over our card panel. Then we place our patent pending corner guides onto opposite diagonal corners. We want to make sure the corners are flush against the stencils. Then we blended rose quartz all over stencil 1 using a nice light touch because it is our first petal layer. Once we're done blending stencil 1, take that off, replace it with stencil number 2. This is the second petal layer. We used soft garnet for the entire layer. Then we took off stencil number 2, replace it with stencil 3, which is the third petal layer. We used red Sangria hybrid ink for the entire stencil. You can use a heavier hand as you blend this third petal layer. You just want to make sure you use a lighter touch when you use the first layer of any multiple floral layers. If you go too heavy on that first layer, you're going to have to work harder and harder to blend the next few layers. So that's why I always go lighter on the first layer. For the foliage layer, we just use Vineyard, and since there's only one foliage layer, you can go as light or as dark as you want. So the foliage layer, stencil number 4, that's last. Once we're done blending stencil number 4, we're just going to use the coordinating die to die cut the center or middle negative area. It cuts out the center area very nicely. You can make a shaker card, but for today we're just going to add a little bit of yellow ink blending behind that die cut window. Next, we took the happy dies from our script word dies collection. In this collection you have the script word die and also the shadow die for each word, and there are 6 words, so you get 12 dies in the one set. For the script word dies, we are die cutting this directly onto pink cardstock. I added some red Sangria blending to the bottom portion of the die cut. For my background shadow die, I just die cut that onto white cardstock. Then I glued the happy script word onto the shadow die cut with some liquid adhesive. I used my precision tweezers to assist me in positioning this right over that shadow die cut. Once I've glued this on, my sentiment is almost ready. I set that aside and I just used the largest die cut from our inner scallop border dies. Then I took an A2 background panel, blended some lemon drop ink on the center. I glued our peony border onto that yellow blended panel and then adhered my white inner scallop frame onto my A2 card. Then I adhered the large happy sentiment onto the center of my card over the window. Next, this sentiment is from our Easy Expression stamp and die, and I just glued that right under the large die cut sentiment. And now my card is complete. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.